Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, not Nick Padone, but a reoccurring guest here on the Big Factor. Max Loeb joins us on Twitter at Loeb's Leads. Go throw him a follow. Happy Friday, guys. We're this much closer to the weekend. Jack, Max, how you guys doing today?
Great. Tough game last night, but great.
Yeah, Ryan, I've been to 2 championship games as a fan since I joined this show just a short month ago, and now it's sitting 0-2. So, maybe the trade-off for getting to hang out with my friends, talk about sports all day is losing championship games. If that's the case, I guess I'm fine. But, yeah, I would definitely like to see someone win one time.
Well, for those who don't know, Jack here, O'Rourke, our resident hockey guy. Max a big hockey guy too, but it's usually Nick in that spot, and he's not as informed like me about hockey. But Jack is a huge Notre Dame fan as well. So just in the past, 2 months, you've seen Notre Dame
under 1 month. It was the 20th of January, the 20th. Yeah,
you've seen Notre Dame lose to Ohio State in the national championship, and now Team USA, which will start, loses in the Four Nations finale to Canada, 3-2, an overtime thriller. Jack, I imagine this last month has been a roller coaster of emotions for you.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that Team USA hockey playing in the first ever Four Nations Cup means as much to me as Notre Dame playing in the national championship does. It doesn't, but yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's kind of like, you guys know that Homer Simpson meme of like when he's sitting on the couch as a kid watching the TV, and then it also as an adult, but it's the same thing. Yeah, it's like, that's the meme for me. Like, go back 2010. I remember being at the Brothers Lounge with my dad watching overtime. Sidney Crosby, the best player in the world, plays on Canada. OT goal, pops it for the win. Fast forward to this year. Same thing happens. Best player in the world for Canada. Connor McDavid goes in, scores the OT winner. Notre Dame football 2012. Oh, here we go. We're going to the national championship, baby. This is it. Brian Kelly, the world's your oyster. Until it wasn't by 35 some odd points. And then I watched it again with Ohio State this year. But yeah, I mean, Ryan, you're not a hockey guy necessarily, but Max, Ryan, you guys are both sports fans. And there's one rule that applies in basically every single sport, and that is, do not leave the best player on the other team wide open. That applies to basketball, soccer, probably tennis in some weird way, and every other sport on the planet. You don't leave the best player wide open. Connor McDavid, congratulations to Team Canada.
Well, yes, I suppose that's probably not an ideal strategy. Jack, you mentioned it. Connor McDavid with the overtime goal to seal the victory for Canada, 3-2 in Boston. Max, how are you watching the game? Were you just at home watching with the fam? What was your reaction to the overtime loss?
I was at PJ McIntyre's. It was a great,
West Park,
great
baby. Oh yeah,
shout out.
Great atmosphere.
We're looking
Food
for sponsors.
Unreal there, unreal food. But truthfully, like I got flashbacks to Game 7 in Boston 2019 with Jordan Binnington, and they said it on the broadcast probably 4 separate times. Like, it was a little too much for me. But a guy who just shows up in the biggest moments just completely slammed the door on the U.S., completely slammed the door. Like, I mean, chance after chance, time after time, you thought, this is it. They're just going to finish the game. Couldn't do it. And then I'm with you, Jack. I legitimately could not believe when I saw that white number 97 and just nobody around it.
Nope.
Like, I was speechless. But, yeah, I got flashbacks to Game 7 in Boston. I mean, he's the 2 biggest hockey games in Boston the past 5 years. He's been the best player on the ice, probably at least both times.
Yeah, I mean, as a guy who doesn't watch much hockey, honestly, I'll be real with you guys, really at all. This was kind of the first time this was the first hockey game I've watched. Well, I'll say this. The Four Nations face-off was the first hockey games I've watched this in a year. In a calendar year, legit a calendar year. But that, to me, as a novice, was so much fun. Watching Brady Tkachuk just absolutely deck people left and right. He got the game-tying goal in the first period. That was electric. You saw all the emotion, the fans. The pregame was electric, starting with that intro from Miracle. That was crazy. Taylor Lewan had a video that circled across X that got people hyped up for it. The emotions in hockey, I mean, we've talked about this before compared to, especially coming off the heels of a lackluster, underwhelming, to say the least, NBA All-Star weekend. These guys are playing exhibition matches for their flag. Boy, does it mean a whole lot more in hockey than it does in any other sport.
Yeah, I mean, it does mean a whole lot more in hockey than any other sport. You couldn't have said it any better than that. I mean, every single year, Max is an NHL and NBA guy. You can really corroborate this for me. Jared Allen, I love Jared Allen. Great player. He's an all-star player. I think he had a rib injury, maybe it was, that caused him to sit out of it.
Be careful, that's my fro.
Oh, yeah. Well, he had a rib injury that caused him to sit out of a elimination playoff game.
It was the majority of that Boston series.
Yeah, I think they would cut you if that happened in hockey. Like, you see the reports come out after every single playoffs, like, This guy played with they said Kachuk. Kachuk played and won the Stanley Cup last year with a fractured sternum. Guys play with there's guys who play with broken legs before. There's like anybody bone you can think of in hockey, you play through it. That's just the way the sport is. But man, not to go first take mode, but guys, we're going first take mode because nowhere else in the country is going to give you this kind of hockey coverage today. Austin Matthews, you might just be the biggest choker in the world, man. I'm sorry at this point. Like I love you. I'm like he has that flash to him. Like, but at the end of the day, like Max, you can do this little cross sport comparison with me. Is he much more than like the Carmelo Anthony of this generation or the LaMelo Ball? Like he's kind of a.
Those are strong allegations.
Yeah. I mean, the Maple Leafs, every single year, they can never break through and get to this. Every single year, they're top 3 in the standings. They never win the playoffs. And they have the 3 big guns on the team. They got Matthews, they got Nylander, and they got Marner, who all played for different teams in this tournament. And obviously, Tavares, too, who was hurt. But these 3 guys, it was like, okay, who's going to finally beat the allegations and come out and play well? Spoiler, none of the 3 did, but Marner's team got it done. He actually had a nice assist yesterday. But man, I mean, Austin Matthews at this point, like, can you give him the C next time? No goals he's a goal scorer. He's not a playmaker, you know?
Yeah, I think LaMelo Ball is too strong of a comparison. Carmelo Anthony's that's a good one though. Honestly, that's a good one. Like one of the best players in the league, year in, year out, just can never advance to. I don't think Melo ever made a conference finals. He's definitely made the semifinals, but on the Knicks at least, I don't think he ever made the conference finals.
I think he had won with the Nuggets when he was younger in his
Denver,
career. Okay. Then I think that was about it for him.
That might be it. Yeah, that's a good comparison. I mean, yeah, it's insane to see. Like the best players always have to show up on the best stages. And again, you talked about that Homer Simpson meme. Like the last 2 times I can think of, the best player on the ice has played for Canada, and they've made the game-winning play when it mattered the most. Like that's how it goes. And to me, it is kind of ridiculous seeing
so many good looks in overtime, Max.
So and it wasn't even overtime. Like they were applying pressure in the third period.
Yeah.
Like you thought at some point they were going to score. Whether it was the end of the third period, very beginning of overtime, because prior to that goal, the McDavid goal, they were in the other end for 2+ minutes going after.
Too.
Yeah, and I think it was off an icing, if I'm not mistaken, the face-off, and they got
face-off,
and
they won it.
But crazy stuff.
Yeah, like Hughes had a good look, Matthews, but
we went into this game and you had doubts. You knew how good Team Canada was. It's hard to beat a team twice in a short span in any sport, football, baseball, be damned. It's hard to beat a team twice, and unfortunately, USA couldn't get it done. Explain to me, as like I said, and I'm gonna say it over again, a non-hockey guy. What did you see out of Team Canada that led them to being the 4-nation champion?
I think it comes down to the talent. Like the way that Team USA approached the game was building out. Well, I was going into USA. Oh God, you're throwing me off here. But the way USA approached the game was definitely you build out from your own net, you play good defense, you try and get the puck out of your zone, and that's the way they played it. I mean, Canada just has an infinite amount of more talent than the United States, and that's what it came down to. At the end of the day, like you don't have Quinn Hughes in there, you don't have Jason Robertson in there. There's only so many things you can do. And actually, if you want to get into my biggest gripe of the game, let's get into because we have 2 minutes left in this song, I believe. Let's get into my biggest gripe.
Short version.
Oh, really? Oh. Stand on guard for the... Okay, regardless. So where I think it went wrong for the United States of America, and I understand the Matthew Tkachuk injury really changes around how you have to maneuver your lines. Chris Kreider got benched for a little bit as well. Like Kyle Connor gets scratched right before the game. Jack Eichel, who is arguably your fastest forward, was locking down Connor McDavid for the better half of the game, first, second into the third period. I don't know what it was that caused it, but Austin Matthews got switched down where he took over center on that line. He played in the rest of the game. And I mean, it's not like Matthews letting a goal really on McDavid, but like when you have a guy who's that fast who's shutting down McDavid and frustrating him, no clue why you take him off.
All right, well, if I played that, then I got to play this. It's only right. But Jack, politics got into this like they do in everything in the year 2025. Trump, whether it was a joke or not, who knows with that guy, talked about Canada being the 51st state. Well, Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, he went on social media. Actually, isn't he resigning? Or is he still?
No, I think he's active.
Okay. Well, he wrote on social media, quote, "You can't take our country and you can't take our game," in response to Donald Trump. I'm sorry, Jack, but is it officially back to Canada sport? No,
see you in the Olympics next year, baby. We'll come and get you when it matters more.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They weren't allowed to play in the Olympics, right?
They weren't allowed in they did play in 2016. They were going to be allowed in 2020. Then COVID kind of messed everything up and they were not allowed. Then it ended up being the younger kids who played, such as guys like Jake Sanderson, who scored the big goal last night.
All right, Max, you brought up this point. You said you were having a conversation with your buddies. The Four Nation Face-Off was a huge success. I mean, I talked about the NBA All-Star Weekend. As a guy who doesn't watch hockey, I mean, that had me fully invested. The environment, the intros, the music, the players, the emotion was outstanding. you brought up, do you think any other sport could do something along the lines of Four Nations face-off?
Yeah. I mean, outside of the World Cup, which is obviously the biggest world sporting event there is, the only thing that came to mind is baseball.
Yep.
Like, the World Baseball Classic is very cool, but, like, you would have to be in a weird spot where you're almost, like, forcing – it'd be Team USA in the NBA, Team USA against the world in a game, because you can't really have, like Team USA against France. Like, that'd be cool. All the stuff with the new Netflix doc is very, very cool. U.S. is probably going to beat them 8, 9 times out of 10. But if you put everybody else from the world on the same team, like Jokic, Wemby, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, like guys like that on the same team against the best players in the U.S., you would get a competitive game, one, because of the talent, but two, because I think those players, especially like Wemby, assuming all is okay with his injury, they have a lot of pride in the fact that they are foreign players. Giannis as well. I don't know why I forgot about Giannis, but Giannis as well. Foreign players. Like, you could do something like that to put everybody on Team World versus Team USA, but at the same time, like, what's the incentive to get those guys to play for each other? They have to take a page out of the Four Nations book. I mean, you can't do it with football. It wouldn't even be a contest at that point.
No, we should do it with football. You know why? Because Canada gets to come on here and ride their high horse because it's their sport.
No,
and Great Britain gets to do the soccer shit every 3 years or whatever, 4 years. No, we should take our sport. Come on down. Come see Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Get your 80 bomb dropped on you and go home, like everyone else has to do.
I saw somebody tweet that, and they got absolutely ratioed, so I wouldn't suggest you tweet that. I don't think that's a good point.
I won't.
But to your point, Max, basketball would be interesting. You couldn't do, I don't think, individual countries, but like you said, Team USA versus the world, and they've kind of done stuff like that. But the evolution of the NBA just the last couple of years, I mean, look at the MVPs, right? It's been Jokic, it's been Giannis. This year, it's most likely going to be Shai, a Canadian, speaking of. So we're seeing that kind of evolution in the NBA, but I think obviously with Team USA, when they show up, they show up. But I want to end this segment talking about the Four Nations on this topic. Rafa Hernandez Brito, who's on Full Court Cleveland, a show here on Big Play, he talks about it all the time. Playing for the flag means a ton for nations that aren't named the USA. And it does seem that way, and I'm not quite sure why that is. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
I don't know. I think it's important, like, as in it, that it's not important to us, or just that
certainly does, as you see.
Yeah, I think it's important to everyone to play for their country, and I think also another huge factor that no one really touched on with this Four Nations face-off is, again, not to get into politics, because at least our politics, I have like a tiny clue what's going on. World politics, folks, I'm not your guy. Tune off the big factor if you want to know what's going on across the pond. But to my knowledge, the reason Russia is not competing internationally currently is because of the whole Ukraine thing going on. So eventually, assuming world peace wins over, which you gotta hope is the case, right? In every single matter, you'd think. It'll eventually be Russia also in this. Like, maybe they can get Germany for Leon Draisaitl, but maybe, or just take out Finland. They stink. Put in Russia. But yeah, I mean, the flag does matter for everyone, and that's why it sucks to lose, man. That's why it really, really sucks.
Max, when you came in here, you were talking with Jack a little bit about that. This Four Nations face-off, you said you wonder if this will make people take hockey a little more serious in the States, because there's no surprise. Mm-hmm. The big three: basketball, football, baseball. Hockey's fourth. Jack, you said you didn't think so. Max, you might have had a different opinion. From just my point of view, I certainly take it at least a little bit more seriously now.
Yeah, I think you can kind of group it into three sums of people. Number one, the people who don't watch hockey at all, like not hockey guys, who watched this and were like, this is cool. I'm going to tune into for the Stanley Cup playoffs, or just the Stanley Cup in general. The second group, which I think I'm kind of a part of, people who love playoff hockey but couldn't care less about it during the regular season. Now I'm going to be more locked in towards the end of the regular season, what's going on. Again, Jack, you said we were coming in here this morning, like on a random Thursday night. There's no good NBA games. Your teams aren't playing. Okay, who's playing in the NHL tonight? Is my team playing, or players that I like playing? That, I think, is that second group, that middle group, is probably going to benefit the most, I think. And then, obviously, you have the diehard hockey fans who, I mean, I don't think it will really change much, if anything, for them.
No.
But I do kind of wonder if there was a small percentage of people who were watching this solely based on national pride who would now be less interested because the U.S. lost.
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, I wonder how big that group is. But I think they're also, like, that team kind of embodies, like, it'd be one thing if, like, because there's been USA teams in the past who were just, like, ramped up on skill. They don't have the skill of Canada. They lose, and it's because they're not talented and they're not physical. At least this team, like the Kachuk brothers, like they're very endearing. Like they get like Americans love shit starters. They get in little fights after whistles. They cross check. They have big hits. But Max, I think you nailed all of it on the head pretty much. Though I mean, for me as a big hockey guy, I do think it's going to raise awareness to like Ryan, for example, of like how fun hockey can be, like how skilled those guys are. Like if you're never watching hockey, you might be like, whoa, like that's actually like a legit sport, as dumb as that sounds. But like that is a real thing. Like for 30% of Americans, curling and hockey are no difference, you know? So like maybe that group of people, so? I mean, maybe not literally, but like there's some people, I mean, it's not that much different. Like hockey and tennis, you know,
it's all
but
nice.
It's all nice, but I do hope that it helps a little bit with at least maybe the playoffs, like you said, Max, or even just the general awareness of like, these guys are ridiculously talented. They might be the guys that care the most in sports. So at least I know, like, maybe I can tune into that once a month or something, or for the playoffs.
Okay, last point. I said last point like 3 times ago, but for real, last point. And let me know if I'm dead wrong, because like I said, my knowledge in hockey is very little. From watching that game last night, to me, it seemed as though Canada they played slower pace, more methodical, and USA was more charging, more emotion. Does that make any sense? Did that make sense at all?
I think so. I don't know about just the play, but in general, like, yeah, I think you watched in the media, the Kachuk brothers, all the rah-rah patriotic stuff that we see all across socials. Like, that's very much national pride, and it's not just the players. Like, it's the fan base and everything like that. But it started with the players, and I think, we saw the way it started when they played last Saturday, all the fights at the start, and Americans were like, yeah, this rocks. We need to get on this. And 100%, like, I'm with you, and I watched more hockey because of it. But at the same time, I think that U.S. is a little more outspoken in the media. They're saying all this stuff. The miracle clip was flying across social media all week long. Almost too much, in my
Jack
opinion.
had
to
it
be honest
first.
with you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. It was flying, like, almost too saturated, in my opinion, and everybody was all over the top. And at the end of the day, Canada, it's like, this is what we do. This is our sport. This is who we are. And eventually they got the job done. Now, if they would have lost the game, I think it would have been a valid discussion to say, like, oh, like, is this really your sport? Is it really, if you're not the best team? And again, there's a lot of aspects to this, but I think just in general, Canada, more methodical, a little more laid back in this whole build-up for sure, especially compared to the U.S., because it's kind of who the U.S. is, especially in the national media, taking pride in your country, getting everybody on like a physically imposing sport. You want to be over the top about it for sure.
And I do want to say also one thing I think Max would appreciate also before we kick off of hockey is I said it on Twitter a couple times this week on our show and on my own account about how I thought that this Canadian team might be actually the best hockey team to ever suit up. And all these assholes came my comments. Oh, Jordan Binnington's not good enough. Oh, but the goalie, they're not the best team ever. Oh, Jordan Binnington sucks. Well, how'd that turn out, assholes? But yeah, no, this might be the best hockey team of all time. Like, this is not far off. Like, the dream team, the redeem team, whatever you want to call them from basketball. Like, it is not far off that level. So for me as an actual, like a big hockey fan, it's like, okay, like, you beat them once. It's kind of cool that we beat a team that good once, let alone you took them to overtime the second time. But I do think the casual sports fan might have lost also just how good that Canada team is. Like, it is ridiculous how good they are.
Well, to show how little I know, when Wayne Gretzky came out, I'm not going to lie, guys, he looked spry. For some reason, I don't know why, I thought he'd be ancient. How old is he?
I don't know.
I was picturing
55 probably.
See, to me, I was thinking he'd be 80, 90. That's how little I know when I hear Wayne Gretzky.
He played like the 80s and the 90s.
Okay, so not that old. Wow. Okay. See, that's
like
just how little I know.
I'd say like probably a little bit older than
age,
Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his first year in the league was 79, I think. So
Okay. Well, we'll see if hockey continues to grow. In the meantime, something
gonna do our part.
Something that grew, something that is going to keep growing. That's the NFL salary cap. We'll break that down and more when we get back here on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back into the Big Factory on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Max Loeb. We're brought to you today, of course, like we are every single day, by our great friends at Fairway Ford, Ohio. Fairway Ford is the largest Ford truck dealership in the state. They have the biggest selection of Ford F-150s as well as Super Duty trucks, and I can promise you they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. Do not let a short drive to Canfield, Ohio prevent you from saving thousands. Yes, that's thousands on your new truck. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, lowest pricing, and the same hometown level of service. Visit fairwayfordohio.com. That's fairwayfordohio.com. All right, before we get into the salary cap, little teaser. Jack, we're going to be doing trivia. Maybe we can make this a Friday thing to spring into the weekend. One of my favorite things in the whole entire world. Jeopardy is my favorite show of all time. I was heartbroken when Alex Trebek passed. Jack,
Another great Canadian.
Give us a little teaser. What do we got on deck to end us Big Factor headed into the weekend?
Yeah, so guys, stick around. We still got like 25 more minutes until we get here. But when you're talking about just Herculean showcases of sports knowledge in one place, you got Max Loeb sitting in one corner of the room, got the Land sweatshirt on, sports influencer, Boston native, kid travels his way to Cleveland, goes to John Carroll, a football-minded school, becomes a football coach, works his way through the system. One of the best ball minds in the damn state at this point in time. We got him in studio for trivia. And folks, you gotta love a good underdog story. Over there in the Fairway Ford sweatshirt, one of the most American men you will ever meet, Ryan Tyler, going up against the mighty Max Loeb. Guys, this is going to be must-see YouTube television.
Speaking of American, man, go to Fairway Ford Canfield, a short drive. You're talking about saving thousands of dollars. You're telling me a short drive isn't worth saving thousands of dollars right now, especially in this weather. And if this winter's anything like the winters to come, you're going to want a new Fairway Ford truck. All right, we're diving into the NFL. It was announced on Wednesday. The NFL informed teams that the salary cap for 2025 is increasing like it seemingly does every year. You can thank Taylor Swift if you want for that. It's going to be between $277.5 billion and $281.5 million. They used to give an estimate of what it would be. Now they give a range to give teams a little bit of a better idea, but regardless of where that number lands, this is going to go up for the second year in a row, and I imagine we'll be sitting here in a year and it'll be close, if not to $300 million at this point. Last year, we saw the largest cap increase of all time. It rose from 224.8 to 255, and this year we're looking at, like I said, 277 to 281. Now, what does this mean for NFL teams? Well, I guess it means good because you get to sign more free agents potentially. Now, I brought up this graphic, guys. This is the top half of the, or excuse me, this is the bottom half of the league in terms of free cap space.
Hey, second last.
Yeah, you see the Browns there in second last, not quite the Saints, surprisingly. And it's interesting because when you think of, you don't have much cap space, so you think, oh, well, that team's good. In fact, no, you look at the Browns and Saints, both dead last, and they are both right now in a bad spot in their franchise. Max, what did you think initially when you saw this news?
I think it's going to benefit the teams who want to extend players, get ahead of extensions the most. I think this benefits the Cincinnati Bengals a ton. I mean, the Patriots already have a ton of cap space, so if you want to lock down some younger guys for years to come, this benefits them. It just benefits anybody who wants to get ahead on big deals. Like, I think T. Higgins, and I will talk about T. Higgins, I'm sure, but T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, would be shocked if they did both this offseason, but I think it could happen. Guys like that, I think if you are to trade Myles Garrett and he wants to get a new extension, play around with that money, this will give more teams financial flexibility to do that. Again, looking at the top 10, I mean, it's going to benefit Washington a ton. It's going to benefit everybody in the sense that everybody's getting the same amount of cap space, but I think the teams that are really looking to make long-term extensions on their star players are going to benefit the most from this because, like you said, Ryan, like last year it increased about 50 or from 220 to 250, so about 30 million. This year it's about 20-ish million. So it's increasing and it will increase every year, but the margin which it's increasing is actually decreasing. Now, last year, truthfully, the Swifties had a lot to do with it. I know you mentioned that. This year, I'm sure that played a part as well, but that whole original rush from them is kind of tapering off. That's why a lot of teams signed big extensions in the past offseason and not 2 years ago. Sleeper I do have for a big contract extension this year, oddly enough, Jahmyr Gibbs. I think you look at the running back market, it's exploding. There are teams that are losing running backs. There are teams that are going to start paying running backs. I think Brad Holmes is smart enough to see how good Gibbs is and sign him to a long-term deal this offseason for sure.
Well, yeah, you mentioned the Patriots. They're number one, $128 million, as you can see, free cap space. They're in a good spot. You bring in Mike Vrabel. You have a young quarterback who you hope to be your future on a cheap deal there. I look at guys like Cooper Kupp, who are going to be cut candidates to go to the Patriots. That'll be interesting. Raiders, Commanders, Cardinals, Chargers round out the top 5. But Max, I thought that was interesting. You bring up Jahmyr Gibbs as a potential extension candidate. The running back market, guys, it's weird because I go back 2 years. We all thought it was dead and gone. At least it seemed like. Maybe not in the NFL circles. They know more than us. But just this year, you look at the Derrick Henrys, the Saquon Barkleys, the Bijan Robinsons, the before-mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs, how much of a difference they are, especially Saquon Barkley. Leading them to the Super Bowl. I know Jalen Hurts got the Super Bowl MVP, but up to that point, Saquon Barkley was the MVP in every single game. Now, what does this mean for the Browns? I don't exactly know. And I'm not sure the Browns even know at this point, but it does give them a little leverage. And Andrew Berry knew this was going to happen. I don't think we can ever send out again laser eyes Andrew Berry because it's nice that the plan worked out, but let's see what you're going to do with the plan because it's nice to say something's going to happen, but you got to reap a little bit of benefits from that plan if you want a little bit of credit.
Yeah, quick question for Max here, our resident salary cap expert. By the way, do you guys remember when the Browns were on Hard Knocks real quick?
Of course.
Do you remember when Carl Nassib was explaining financials to Myles Garrett? That's how I feel when you're in the room giving the salary cap
I don't know if
breakdown.
I have that type of knowledge, but I can do my best.
But as we talk about this running back market, as a Browns fan, I mean, my head has to turn to one place. What do you think the likelihood is that Nick Chubb returns as a Cleveland Brown next year?
That's tough. I think it's.
I saw the Steelers rumors too. What is this?
That is from Andrew Filipponi, the Pony Express. I would not take anything.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I got
First
sense
of all,
held.
I don't think Nick Chubb would do that, to be fully honest with you.
Yeah,
Second of all, I think it's more likely he returns than goes somewhere else. He is not going to get paid like those other running backs are. If you watch him play this year, he has lost a step. It's very sad to admit, but he's lost a step. I think it's more likely he returns than doesn't. I think there's a very small chance he retires. I think he could just be done. But I think it's more likely he returns than he doesn't. The Browns are going to have to go in a different direction at running back, though. I think this is a second, third round running back draft for them. Omarion Hampton's one of my favorite players I've looked at. I don't know if he sneaks into the first round. He could, but like early second, you never know. They're going to have to go in a different direction at running back, but I think it's more likely Chubb is back than not back.
I would do anything to get Cam Scatterbo in a Browns uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Yes, Omarion Hampton is nice. I wonder if Ashton Genty is going to go in the top 10. I've never been a fan of, unless that's a position you're looking at your roster, maybe like I think of the year Detroit went out and got Jahmyr Gibbs. You identified one of your only holes. You filled it. You traded DeAndre Swift, which I was surprised about. I thought he was going to be there for a while. You upgraded him with Jahmyr Gibbs. But if you're looking at the Browns situation, yes, Nick Chubb's best football is behind him. It's unfortunate. I hope they find a way to keep him on the roster. I mean, losing a guy like that, especially if you lost him and Myles Garrett in the same offseason, that would be terrible. Yes. You don't have to raise your hand.
Browns
this
salary
isn't
cap.
school, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to raise your hand. You're allowed to speak.
Back to the Browns again, Max.
Yes.
So, and this might be too far out of your reach, or maybe if you have a guess for me. So, anytime you mention the salary cap going up, my first thought has to be Andrew Berry laser eyes kick Deshaun Watson down the road another year. Do you think that could be a direction we're heading at all? Do you think Deshaun's around next year in the first place? Because I wanted to ask you about this last time you were on the show and we didn't get the chance to talk about it. I know 4's up probably isn't going to result in a Pro Bowl anytime soon, but do you think he lands on his feet anywhere? Or what happens with this guy?
No. I think he can land on his feet somewhere.
Okay.
It is not in Cleveland.
Yeah, okay.
That ship has sailed. I think it's not even a talent thing at this point because like I know Browns fans will hate that I'm going to say this. There were good things he did last year. There absolutely were in his play. His bad play is blown out of proportion. He wasn't good, but he was not as bad as people make him seem. I think he needs a fresh start, fresh change of scenery, preferably a different conference. He needs something. Like he needs a completely new start, and he's realistically probably not going to play at all next year. Yeah. That's the other aspect to this. So what the Browns do with him, I don't know. It's going to be financially first, probably the decision. I've seen rumors they would include him in a potential Myles Garrett trade. I think cutting is always on the table because of how much dead cap they already have or will have with him. I mean, to me, I can't see a world where he's on the active roster next year. Not a shot.
Max, I'm going to put you on the spot, brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to name a quarterback.
Yeah.
And give me your best prediction where this player plays football next season.
I love a little carousel.
You ready?
Let's do it, yeah.
All right, we'll start here with Super Bowl winning quarterback Matthew Stafford. Where will he play football next season?
I think the Rams.
Okay, that's fair. That's valid.
Where do I want him to play? The New York Giants.
Okay.
For sure.
Sam Darnold, the darling of the regular season last year.
I think he stays in Minnesota.
All right, last one for you. Danny Dimes.
Cleveland.
You really? You think so?
Yeah.
Tell me why.
I think, he fits the offense very well. He's a quicker decision maker than a lot of quarterbacks, and I think a lot of people will give him credit for. The only thing that would push me away is I think he'd fit other schemes better. I think that there are coaches who will look at Daniel Jones and say he can move, he can do this, he can help you in the quarterback-driven run game, and will want that aspect to him. But I think in Kevin Stefanski's offense, there's a small part of that can lean into the quarterback run game that, truthfully, he didn't get a great job with Deshaun Watson. I think DTR actually did a better job than Deshaun Watson in that aspect. But I think he's a quick decision maker. He can keep you honest with his legs. You can't just go play man across the board and say, okay, you go escape the pocket. Daniel Jones will break the pocket and run for however long. He might trip on 30-yard line when he does it, but he'll still run for yards. But yeah, I think Cleveland, and honestly Pittsburgh, I think he's going to come to the AFC North. There's too many teams. Even Baltimore, it would make sense in Baltimore for him. I think he's going to be in the AFC North.
What about Jameis?
Ooh.
It's going to be a backup role. Probably.
That's a good one.
So it does not matter as much. Could be anywhere.
I don't know if I think he could start somewhere.
Oh, wow.
I think Cleveland is a very real option, too. I think if the Browns don't go quarterback at 2, it'll be a quarterback room of Jameis, potentially Daniel Jones, and then whatever rookie they take later on in the draft. I think any team who's looking for a bridge guy, Jameis is probably the best guy you're going to get, unless you're willing to take on Aaron Rodgers, which is a very real thing.
Last one. I can't believe I forgot about the enigma. Aaron Rodgers, where's he playing football next year? That might be the most difficult one to slate.
Hey, give Tommy Reese some ayahuasca, and you never know what's going to happen with that Cleveland Browns franchise.
I think realistically the Giants will sign him.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Yeah. New York to New York.
He's got his house there already. He loves it there, apparently. And the reality is Brian Dable and Joe Shane are trying to save their jobs for 1 year.
As a Giants fan, because obviously that gives you some short-term protection or help maybe. Does that move you long-term, though? As a Giants fan, you have to want a quarterback here, right?
Yes, the only thing is you're picking at 3. So I think there's a real world where it's Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, or vice versa, 1 and 2. Okay. And I love Travis Hunter. I'd be so happy if they got Travis Hunter.
So would you not want to go? Would you? So say we know that Cam Ward is going 1, for example, to the Titans. Does Shedeur Sanders move you enough to consider trading up?
Whew. That's tough.
I mean, if the Titans are serious about this taking the best player available.
That's the rumor, man. I don't know.
I think they'd be dumb not to take quarterback.
Right? I think anytime you have a chance to draft a quarterback, you're just giving away your job, basically. Like Andrew, if Andrew Berry doesn't take a quarterback, he's just signing up to go somewhere else.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll see who's playing in these NFL teams, but New York Yankees, well, they might be able to get some new faces in free agency as they have amended their facial hair policy. We'll talk about that and more when we get back here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Max Loeb filling in for Nick Padone. Guys, we're flipping it over to baseball. The New York Yankees. Well, if you had a beard, you used to not be able to play for them. And I actually just found this out this year. I don't know how I never knew.
I don't know how you never knew. That's me not knowing about that Gabby Petito girl. It's the exact same thing.
I guess I never put it together. I never looked at it and be like, why don't they have beards? I don't know. That's a great point. I don't know how I didn't know that. I'll be honest with you, but it came out this morning, the news from the New York Yankees official X account from managing general partner Hale Steinbrenner. In recent weeks, I've spoken to a large number of former and current Yankees spanning several eras to elicit their perspectives on our long-standing facial hair and grooming policy, and I appreciate their earnest and varied feedback. These most recent conversations are an extension of ongoing internal dialogue that dates back several years. Ultimately, the final decision rests with me, and after great consideration, we will be amending our expectations to allow our players and uniform personnel to have well-groomed beards moving forward. It is the appropriate time to move beyond the familiar comfort of our former policy. Guys, I do that once a show.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, Max, I do that once a
glad we
show.
got it out of the way before
honestly.
the biggest trivia competition
It
of all
wouldn't be a
time.
show if I didn't do that once a show. But guys, this policy goes back to 1973 when George Steinbrenner did it because he didn't like the way some of the members of the team looked when they were standing on the field during the singing of the national anthem. What are
those sideburns?
your guys' reactions, your guys' thoughts to the Yankees amending this policy?
I mean, I know I texted you guys saying the Yankees went soft. I mean, I don't know why this was even in place right now, but I do like, I can grow a nice beard. I know I can, but it did not come without struggling through the patchiness phase. So I have to ask, and I'm sure somebody watching this is probably in the same boat or was. What happens if you have a patchy beard and you can't grow a full beard? Is that well groomed?
Oh, I'm still there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would say it's not.
Yeah,
I would say
so
it's
like,
not.
That to me is number one, like what qualifies as a well-groomed beard. I told you guys too. I mean, my whole family's from Jersey. Got a bunch of Yankees fans in the family. Was texting a couple of them this morning. My dad said, I think put it perfectly for anybody who's in that generation too, who kind of grew up with this. This is what happens when you have way too much time in the offseason and you have too much money. Like this is like, why now? Why what? A month, 2 months before the season starts? Like why now? I get, honestly, will probably be a positive for the players in the building, but like, why now? Like what is the point of this? And honestly, I don't know if it would ever be a deterring factor in free agency, but you got to at least think about it, right? If you're going to the Yankees, I know everybody who leaves the Yankees goes and grows their beards.
Well, how about this? Actually, I read this. The policy has been subject to scrutiny over the years. Some players, including former closer Brian Wilson and Cy Young winner David Price, said they wouldn't sign with the Yankees because of this rule. So there has been, in fact, deterred players from signing with the Yankees in free
I
agency.
forgot about Brian Wilson until right now. If you could just take a quick second and
You're
shout out
gonna think
Brian
about
Wilson.
beards. How do you not think of Brian Wilson?
Had the dyed black beard, jump around to get the fellows going at Oracle Park. I mean, yeah, good for that guy. But I don't know. I think it is soft, actually, because when you think of the Yankees, like I think of the pinstripes, I think of the 27 rings, and I think of this rule.
So you're saying this is a woke agenda from the Yankees?
Yeah, I think I am actually. I mean, Alex Verdugo, you're not good enough to decide if you get to have a beard or not, okay? Like, all these people on the internet, like, oh, like Alex Verdugo, like, had to shave, looks like a baby now. Alex Verdugo is a career 740 OPS guy. He doesn't get to decide whether he has a beard or not. I think they're getting a bit too into the weeds of this. Your dad said it perfectly. Shout out to Mr. Loeb. This is what happens when Uncle Hal lost out on Juan. There was just too much time going around, had nothing on his plate. Oh, what can we do? How can the Yankees stay in the news? Like, let's go through the Jerry Jones Rolodex of weird things to get on the top of CNN today. And that's what they decided on. But yeah, congrats. And like, it's not like, I feel like beards are kind of going out of style in a way for baseball players anyways. Like, it's not like the Johnny Damon days where you have guys with super long hair and big beards like that Johnny Gomes era Red Sox team. Like, I can't really think of a star player, and this is going to come back to haunt me. You guys are going to make fun of me here in a second, but I can't think of a star player in baseball that has like a huge beard. Can you guys?
Bryce Harper, would you still consider him?
But he's like, his is like pretty tight. And like Charlie Blackmon just retired. He had a big one. So like, I don't even know really has a big one.
Yeah, Charlie Blackmon wasn't a star by any stretch. But
Yeah,
I get
he was. But Charlie Blackmon is a borderline Hall of Famer, and I will go out there on a limb for him
You'd
and say
think
that.
so.
Chuck Nasty is a GOAT. He just got stuck on a really bad team after that team started struggling around 2016.
Maybe Mike Trout needs to grow a beard.
Yeah.
Maybe the Angels will
real
actually do
quick, while we're on
something.
baseball, how about that? Him going over to right field?
Yeah.
Mike, could have done this 7 years ago, man. Well, you could have led the home run leader all time or something. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, you talk
Should've done
about
this earlier.
one of the most wasted talents in sports history. I immediately think of Mike Trout. It is such a shame. I thought he was going to be the greatest player of all
Dude,
time when it's all said and
he's
done.
close to getting like D Rose level.
I think even worse. I mean, I understand because D Rose it was an injury factor, and I understand Mike Trout has the injury factor too, but the Angels have just totally wasted his career.
Though their ownership sucks. Like they just like go out of their way to make the dumbest. Like, why? You're going to be bad this year, right? Los Angeles Angels, they're going to be 4th, 5th place. Maybe they'll be 4th because thank God for the Sacramento Athletics out there. They're not going to be doing much either. Why the hell are you signing 38-year-old Kenley Jansen to a $10 million contract? Like, do teams ever think of like what their moves are for, what you're going for in the future? Like, the best case scenario in this is that Kenley Jansen at 38 years old has a halfway decent year, and you can move on from him at the trade deadline for a single-A catcher who will be a backup one day because Kenley Jansen has no trade value. Like, you're just wasting money. And now Mike Trout's, I don't know. I feel bad for them.
Well, hey, somebody said bearded Jeter would have won 8 rings. He does look damn good with the beard. I will admit that.
Dude, I think the clean shaven is part of why he has the best roster of people dated of all time.
Maybe.
That's true. Max, I want to ask you this because, as you said, you have Yankees connections.
Yeah.
I've had multiple people tell me in their opinions the most overrated player in the history of the sport is Derek Jeter. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying I've had multiple people tell me in their opinion Derek Jeter is the most overrated player in the history of Major League Baseball.
I don't agree, but I've also grown up around people who like put Derek Jeter on a pedestal. So, I mean, I get why they could say it, but like I've seen him win rings, clutch hits. I was also like the last series he played in Boston. I went to not the last game, but one of the games in the series. And the most fierce rivalry in baseball, every Red Sox fan in that stadium like stood up and gave him a standing ovation, tipped their caps just when he went up to bat. Like it wasn't even just first inning, second inning, when he went to bat. Like you can see how much he means to the game of baseball in terms of accolades. If you like, yeah, if you want to call him like one of the greatest players of all time, maybe that is overrating him. But I mean, I wouldn't immediately put him there. But if any of my family is watching this and I said anything about Derek Jeter, I don't even know what would happen to me.
Jack, you didn't like that take, I don't think.
No, and I hate the Yankees. Let me put that out there. The Yankees are up there with my least favorite franchises in the history of professional sports. And if you call Derek Jeter overrated, you're just a moron. It's just that simple. I mean, you don't get the nickname Mr. November by being overrated. He's one of the most clutch players of all time. You can talk about, oh, sure, like he has the lowest defensive runs saved of all time, blah, 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 for shortstops under the age of 30 on Wednesdays. I don't give a fuck. Whatever they say about this guy. Derek Jeter is a winner. He's one of the most iconic plays in the history of the sport. Led that Yankees team through the dynasty in the 90s into the 2000s, has a bunch of rings. I mean, if you're talking about overrated, let's talk about A-Rod, maybe. I know A-Rod has an incredible first 5-6 years of his career. Got popped for steroids. Numbers never really returned to that level. Got one ring with the Yankees because of Derek Jeter. So, I don't know.
He did get to sleep with J-Lo, though. That counts for something, right?
I mean, look at Derek Jeter's list.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess something about
he'll blow away. He beats A-Rod in every facet imaginable. I feel bad for it. And that's why A-Rod hates him on TV, and you can tell it too, because Derek Jeter has him beat in every possible facet of life.
Fair enough. All right, we got to take one more break. When we get back, Jack, it is trivia time. Stick around. We'll be right back here on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Max Loeb filling in for Nick Padone. It is officially that time. Maybe we'll have to make this a weekly segment. Trivia time for Fridays. Jack, how are we doing this bad boy? Is there a score limit? Can I steal? Is this Jeopardy style? Tell me what's going on,
Here's what
brother.
we're going to do, fellas. We are going to go one by one. You're on different teams. I mean, usually on The Big Factor, we're all friends here. We play on the same team, but we're not doing that today. We got an intense rivalry. We're coming off of USA Canada last night.
Yeah.
We're getting right back into that bad blood. It's going to be 9 rounds, guys, because no one else has a show today, so we can go a little bit longer. 9 rounds, guys. You can steal if the other person doesn't get it right. We'll add up the scores. I mean, keep track of your own scores because that's a lot of work for me to do. That's a lot of adding. I was not a math guy in school. English and history.
Oh, me neither, brother. Why do you think I'm in radio?
Yep, me too. Who wants to start? Anyone want to get this ball going? Okay, Max.
Yeah, Max is the guest. Max is the guest. I feel like that's only right. He goes first.
Round 1, NFL category. I know you like. Ryan, you can steal.
Also, you guys can't hear this music right now, but it's going crazy.
All right. All right.
I'll put that buzz on too.
Okay, wait. Ooh, yeah. I feel like I'm in Austin Powers right now. Okay. Max Loeb, here we go. Round 1.
Let's do it.
This linebacker recorded the most tackles of any NFC East player during the 2018-2019 season. Who is he?
Linebacker 2018-2019.
So I can steal, right? If he gets wrong.
You can steal if he gets it wrong.
I have a guess, but
I'm going to go Leighton Vander Esch.
Correct.
Oh, wow. Good
Keep track of your own
pull.
scores. Keep track of your own scores. That is one. Okay.
Okay.
Ryan.
Hit me with it.
This defensive back recorded the most tackles of any NFC West player during the 2018-2019 season.
Wow, we're
Who
loving
is
the
he?
NFC West. Say that one more time for me.
This defensive back recorded the most tackles of any NFC West player during the 2018-19 season. Who is he?
2018-2019 season. Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants.
NFC West.
Oh, NFC West. Sorry. Okay. Wow, that changes things. Cardinals, Rams. Oh. I don't know if he's there yet. Rams. See. Oh, what year?
2018-2019 season.
After Mr. Sherman. I think this is too early for Jalen Ramsey. Why did my music stop? Oh, gosh. All right, for sake of time, I think it's too early, but I'm gonna go Jalen Ramsey.
Chance for a steal.
Eric Weddle.
Great guesses, guys. It was Buda Baker.
Buda Baker, okay.
So 1-0 max after round one. Do you guys want to snake it, or do you want to go back to the lead?
It doesn't matter to me. I do have a question. Right? Are these regular season or just overall?
I believe there's no specification, so I'd assume regular season. That would be my guess. Okay. So we'll go Ryan. We'll snake it around here.
All
Okay. Ryan. This is college football, by the way.
Okay.
For this round. This wide receiver led Ole Miss in receiving yards in 2020 before being drafted by an AFC team in the 2021 draft.
Who is A.J. Brown?
Chance for a steal.
What?
Elijah Moore.
That would be correct. Cleveland Brown, Elijah Moore, Max Loeb up 2-0 early here in round two.
Let's do it.
Chance to go up 3-0. I mean, Max,
Wow,
this is a
choked.
huge chance to hop on him early here.
That's a big one.
Oh, wow.
This wide receiver led Ohio State in receiving yards in 2018 before being drafted by an AFC team.
2018. Oh, man. Before Garrett Wilson for sure. I'm trying to go back and think of those teams.
For those playing at home as well, the question again, this wide receiver led Ohio State in receiving yards in 2018 before being drafted by an AFC team.
It's too late for Michael Thomas. This is tough. 2018 wide receiver, Ohio State. AFC team, you said?
AFC team, yes.
Wow. I can't even think right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through the AFC teams in my head, to be honest with you.
Maybe no. No.
This one's getting me. I'll give an answer in like 20 seconds, I'll think. I can't remember the players on those teams because that's after the national championship
know.
team, the first
Tough.
national championship team, and then obviously before like the whole fields and that era.
Hint that will help no one. This player is friends with friend of the big factor, Sean Crawford.
Yeah, I mean.
So that won't help on him.
Yeah, no. Wow. I mean, I legitimately have no idea. I mean, I'll throw Michael Thomas out, but it's too late for him. I think.
Ryan for the steal.
Yeah, geez, I'm not an Ohio State fan, so.
This is a toughie, I will say that.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think we did assume that by this point in time, but
Okay. I'm trying to think of who this guy was, but you said he led the Buckeyes.
in receiving yards in 2018.
I can't even.
It's gonna be somewhere gonna be mad. Like,
He is like a.
I was gonna. Okay.
I'm not gonna. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't give him any clues. So I can't. give
I'm
him clues.
between like Noah Brown and like was Devin Smith.
Could have been.
There's no way I would have gotten either of those.
I'm gonna go Devin Smith.
That is incorrect. The correct answer was Paris Campbell.
Oh
Yeah, no
my!
shot.
Completely forgot about him. And I didn't even think
Former
about
Giant,
Curtis
too.
Samuel
Former Giant,
either.
too? Oh.
That's a bad
Wow.
look.
So this one goes back to you, I believe. Though,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is NBA.
2-0.
NBA.
I will give you guys a preface. So these questions are these were from last year. So
Okay.
this will be pertaining to last NBA season. So throw everything you. Trey Garland, get him out of here. Throw everything you know about this season out the window, okay? Name the Western Conference center based off his 2023-2024 stats below.
Ooh, okay. All right.
21 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game. Team missed the playoffs, and he's been in the league for less than 4 seasons.
I have an immediate answer in my head, but I do want to think about it.
Okay.
I have an immediate answer as well, but take your time.
Missed the playoffs. Team missed the playoffs.
Yes, missed the playoffs.
Okay. Wemby.
Great guess, but no, Ryan.
I'm pretty sure his team missed the playoffs. Is it DeMontis Sabonis?
It is not. It is Alfred Sengun.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
2-0, correct?
Yep.
This might be the hardest round. I think we're going to get into some good ones for you guys here after.
Yeah.
This is a little low-scoring match so far.
Low-scoring
Okay.
Defensive battle.
Defensive battle, just like last night.
Yeah.
Ryan. So same things as last time apply.
Okay.
Name the Eastern Conference point guard based off his 23-24 stats below. 22 points per game, 7.5 assists, 4 rebounds. Team missed the playoffs, and he's been in the league for less than 4 years also.
Been in the league for less than 4 years. Say it again.
22.7 points per game, 7.5 assists per game, 4.3 rebounds per game. Eastern Conference point guard based off last season's stats that I just read. Team missed the playoffs, been in the league less than 4 years.
Okay. I don't know if he had this many points. I'm going to go with Cade Cunningham.
Ryan, Tyler, you are on the scoreboard.
There you go.
You're on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You're back in this one. Woo! And you're back up, I believe, as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
2-1.
And we have how many more rounds? Just so I can give you guys an update. Okay, 1 more round. 2 more rounds. Okay, we had 5 more rounds. Okay,
5
more than
more
I
rounds.
thought. More than I thought.
All right.
Okay.
2-1, baby. Let's tie this thing up.
Apologies. Okay, okay. And Ryan's up, right?
Yep.
Okay. In the 2020 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers took this interior defensive lineman with the 14th pick.
In 2020. Okay, 2020, the Browns.
Probably messed it up.
That was. What?
Probably messed it up.
Oh, was 2020 Jed Wills?
Yep, okay. Point proven.
There you go.
Say that one more time.
The first place our mind goes with that, too.
In the 2020 NFL Draft, the 49ers took this interior defensive lineman with the 14th pick.
Took a D tackle. Who is? I don't even remember. DeForest Buckner. I don't even think that's close.
Eric Armstead?
Great guess there, Javon Kinlaw.
Javon
Correct answer.
Kinlaw. I could have got that.
Yeah.
So 2-1. Max,
2-1.
chance to build that lead back
Yeah,
up
I
here,
need it.
though.
I need it.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints traded up to select this pass rusher with the 14th overall pick.
What draft?
2018.
Oh. 2018. Pass rusher.
These are some tough ones. I
Yeah,
like
they
that.
are. No, there's some. Totally, they weren't easy.
Trey Hendrickson?
Trey Hendrickson is incorrect.
Okay, read it one more time for me, Jack.
In the 2018 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints traded up to select this pass rusher with the 14th overall pick.
I think this was too early or too late for Cam Jordan. And I don't remember if they traded up. So this isn't a linebacker, right? Or is it?
To be totally honest, it just says pass rusher. I don't know this guy personally.
Because you
so.
could consider some, but I don't remember the year, but I'll go Cam Jordan.
Incorrect.
Is it
Marcus Davenport.
Damn
Damn.
it.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that's a
anyone
tough
knew that
one.
That
That's
is a tough one. Now we're into basketball. Okay.
All right, back to basketball.
Who's up?
I think it's me.
Is you? Okay. Name the missing player in the Game 1 starting lineup of the 2022 NBA Finals from the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
Point guard Steph Curry, shooting guard Klay Thompson, small forward Andrew Wiggins, question mark for the center Draymond Green at power forward.
Ooh. Damn, this was Celtics too. I know Jordan Poole came off the bench. Oh, who played power forward?
No, it's who played center, right?
Center, yeah. Draymond,
Oh, who
Draymond
played
and power,
center?
Draymond and power forward.
Oh,
I think I know this. So.
I think I do too.
Oh, damn it.
Kevon Looney.
Damn it.
Steal?
Oh, that's
no.
wrong.
It is
Wow.
wrong.
I thought for sure, Max, it was Kevon Looney.
Wow. Damn. I don't know.
I think they traded Wiseman. I don't think
know
he
if he was in the
started.
league.
That's what I'm saying. Was it Festus Ezeli?
Ooh, that might be it.
It is not.
Damn.
Correct answer, guys. Otto Porter Jr.
What?
Yeah. Which
I wouldn't have
never
pulled that in a
gotten.
million guesses. He played center?
Apparently.
Damn.
That's what they're telling me. 2-1 still?
2-1.
Yeah.
Back to
Ryan, chance to tie the game.
Jeez, boy, do I need this one.
Name the missing player of the 2022 NBA Finals Game 1 starting lineup for the Boston Celtics.
I mean, I hope.
Point guard Marcus Smart, shooting guard Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum small forward, blanket power forward Al Horford at center.
Okay. Read the lineup one more time, quick.
That would be Marcus Smart at point guard, Jaylen Brown shooting guard, Jason Tatum small forward, blanket power forward Al Horford at center.
Okay, I have two thoughts.
I got one, to be honest with you.
Was
I don't know if
it
it's right.
was it Grant Williams?
That is incorrect.
Wow.
Chance for a steal.
That was my guess too.
I have a guess, but it won't. I'll wait till you see, and I won't get points for it. But
Power forward.
damn,
Wow, my friends are gonna flame me for this. This wrong. Power forward. Trying to roll back through the lineup here. He would have guarded Otto Porter Jr. God. I know Derek White came off the bench then too. Oh wait, are you sure it's a power forward?
are you thinking it might have been a center?
Robert Williams.
It is Robert Williams. They're giving me him. They're giving me him as a power forward,
Yeah.
but Robert Williams.
Shout out to Time Lord.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
And who's up?
Max, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to college football here for you. Name the missing Heisman finalist in 2013.
Oh boy, there's no shot.
The
Actually,
winner-
maybe. Yeah.
The winner, our coworker, Jameis Winston, won
Sure.
the Heisman.
Okay. Ooh.
In the third spot, Northern Illinois quarterback Jordan Lynch, one of the best Creed highlight edits on TikTok. Who was number 2?
Wow.
In 2013.
Yeah.
2013.
I will say I'm actually very confident I would have gotten this right.
Wow. Whew. And you're not going to give us the position, huh?
What?
Do you know the position? You know who the player is.
Is it a
Okay,
non-quarterback?
So you're gonna get a similar question also.
Okay.
I have the conference and position. Would you guys like that
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. SEC quarterback.
That's what I figured. It was
Yeah, I mean that's what it probably is gonna be.
SEC quarterback. Wow.
2013. SEC quarterback.
Damn, that's crazy.
Ooh, I mean, I don't know.
Right, you're gonna need one to get back in here too.
I
so
know. Shit.
we only have how many rounds after this? Only 3 rounds after this, so we're getting down to it.
I mean, I have a guess.
Was it AJ McCarron?
That's what I was going to say.
It is AJ McCarron.
Damn it,
Or
that's
sorry,
what I was
2
gonna
rounds
say.
left, so this is getting.
Hell yeah.
That's
You
what I
really
was
need
gonna
to start the
say.
comeback here.
Oh, man.
Really got to start the comeback
Needed
here
that
now.
one. All right.
Shout out AJ
Okay.
McCarron.
Name the missing Heisman finalist in 2010.
Oh my God.
Number 1, Cam Newton, the winner. Number 2,
Jesus
Andrew
Christ.
Luck. I think I get this one too, actually. Number 3, running back, Pac-12.
Running back,
Ooh, I think I know this one.
Pac-12.
I think I do know this one. Pac-12.
Running back, Pac-12. It was Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, and a running back, Pac-12.
Actually, I don't know. 2010.
Yeah, I think this is a little too early for Christian.
Is that your answer?
I mean, Pac-12. Arizona State.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel confident at all. But Christian McCaffrey.
Max?
LaMichael James.
One of the best highlight tapes of all time, brother. That is correct.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Out of Oregon.
Out of Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah.
5-1.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
can't even win.
I
we
love
got.
the Michael
We could
James.
do it. Would you be
double
okay with
point.
2 point,
Okay,
double
okay.
point
Yeah,
rounds
let's
here?
do it.
Oh, you just want to cover the spread.
Yeah, I want
That's,
to cover
that's
it.
what you're going for. Okay, 2 rounds left here. NBA, who starts?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
This forward averaged over 19 points per game for the Timberwolves in his 3rd season, 2010, but never averaged more than 15 points per game the rest of his career, from 2008 to 2019.
Okay, my first thoughts. Listen, I'm already. I got to throw out a wild card to even get this. I think you got it. So it's a player that's been in the league for a while. I don't even know if he's still in the league, to be honest. Jeff Green.
It's 08 to 19, if you didn't hear me.
Is it Jeff Green?
No.
No idea.
I love Jeff Green. Shout out Jeff Green.
Celtics legend.
Celtics legend.
Cavs legend.
He's a legend on a lot of
Yeah,
teams.
he's a lot of teams.
Nuggets legend.
Yeah.
So, 3rd year was 2010.
Yes. That's when he was career high 19 points per game.
Yeah. Timberwolves.
I would. Oh yeah, I can say this. Never, I can say this. I would have to assume with Kevin Love on the roster.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh man, I got it. Small forward, you said too.
Yes, small forward. Or sorry, forward.
Forward. I mean, Love was playing.
Yeah,
forward.
that's true. Yeah, so yes, small forward.
Yeah. Wow.
Or he was hooping 19 off the bench behind Kevin Love.
He could.
Little Jeff
Yeah.
Teague style.
Yep.
Celtics
Oh,
legend.
man. Yeah. He also legend on a lot of teams.
Another legend in a lot of places.
3rd season, so he's probably drafted by the Wolves too. 2008 draft, right after the Celtics. I mean, I could. He retired in 2019 too.
Yeah.
That's a tough part. He's out of the league.
As a very casual NBA fan, this is a name I know. I will say that.
Okay.
Not playing this guy in Blacktop, but
Yeah. No, I got you.
played in the association for 10 years.
Oh, Sasha Vujacic.
Great guess. Michael Beasley.
I never would have pulled that in a million
I didn't
years.
even realize he was out of the league. I'm not gonna lie.
Breaking news. Michael Beasley
Yeah.
out of the NBA.
He was good though. He was very good.
Yeah. So back to you, I believe,
Yeah.
again? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Ryan is still here. You're right back in this one. I mean, you never know. This guard averaged over 20 points per game in his rookie season for the Kings in 2009, but never averaged more than 20 points per game in 20 points per game again in a single season in his career from also 09 to 18.
Tyreek Evans.
Wow. And he's pulling away.
Yeah, that might be all she wrote.
What is it now?
7-1. If we're doing
7-1.
double points.
Yeah,
All
if we're
right,
doing
triple
double-
points for the combo
Triple
round.
points,
Triple
let's do it.
points for the last round. Here we go.
Thanks, Jack.
Here we go.
All right, hit me with
All
it.
right. It starts with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just for my, like,
Name the
moral
year. Name
morality.
the year based off these events.
Okay.
Jeff Janis Hail Mary catch.
Ooh.
Ichiro 3,000 hits. Kevin Garnett retires.
Oh, that's tough. KG retires one. Throws him
I'll
off the
go between two. I'll go 2018.
I'm going to go 17.
Dude, I was going to say 17.
2016.
Oh,
wow,
okay.
okay.
Damn.
Chance to hit double digits.
Yeah.
Did you get this one right?
No, Ryan's up again. Ryan's up first, right?
No, I just went.
No, he just went.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. You're right.
Last question of the day. Here we go. The infamous Did Dez Catch It?
Oh, man.
David Ortiz joins the 500 home run club.
Yep.
Steve Nash retires.
2015.
10-1 final. Max Lowe.
Wow.
Walk in Yo Trap, take over
I
Yo
think
Trap.
it's fair to say Max beat me, not only beat me, but covered the spread.
We'll run it back, though. I
You
think
could
we
say, though, I
run
mean,
it back.
like, USA beat Canada the first time.
Yeah, true.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yeah, we
Maybe I
gotta
don't
run
know
it
if I
back.
want to associate myself as a Canadian. I did play the anthem. But huge thanks to Max. Go follow him on X at Max, or excuse me, at Lobes Leads. Max, tell him where else they can go plug yourself.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Same with Honor the Land, all the Cleveland sports stuff. Same platforms, X as well. Same handle, Honor the Land, HONOR the Land.
LOEB too. Don't forget that, folks. LOEB leads. Lobes leads.
All right, well, I'm going to the weekend with my ass kicked by Max. It happens. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be back Monday. I believe Nick Pannone will be back. Huge thanks to Max. This is not the last time you'll see him here on the show. Everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you.